So today we are going to see uh, the two-tier website architecture, a small website architecture you can say, okay, for a small e-commerce website or anything else, for us for a intermediate business you can say. For that we have a server and we have a database. Okay, two servers we have, a app server or a database server. Okay, so we have the like doing it in the container. Okay, in the container, database in container, and the app server. Okay, so for the for now, like we are showing you the database connectivity with the versions, and on the front, like on the web page, you can see the user login. Okay, the username of the database. So we are going to see this the two-tier small architecture, where we will see Docker file, Docker Compose. We'll see the Docker bridge network. Okay, with the Docker bridge network, we have connect like the connectivity is there for the two tiers. Docker volume we will see for the storage purposes. MySQL database we are going to use, and Jenkins for the automations. Like if we change something, we have made the automation. You can see like we will show you, and also we are using the Git and GitHub. Okay, these things we're going to see in this workshop. Okay, so this will be a rough architecture you can say. Okay, so this type of thing will be there, website tier and a database tier. Okay, so are you guys interested to see? Raise up your hands. Okay, guys, thank you for your response and interest, and thank you for joining this workshop. Okay, so I would like to invite my friend, my colleague, Tushar. So he will show you all these things. He will demonstrate you all these things. Okay.
So I will explain the architecture, overall architecture of what is going to happen here. So basically we have one host. Okay. This is the host, and this host is using WL01 as a interface. Okay. This is the what we can say IP address of this server or this host, having 192.168.1.9 as IP address, and /24 is the subnet assigned to this host. Now, just looking at the architecture, so we have this Docker host, and just putting that IP 1.9. So this is the IP of our host. On the top of that, we will have one network, okay, which is a bridge network. So this bridge network is used to connect both the app server and database server. So this is commonly shared. Why we use the one custom? We will create one custom bridge network. So what is the purpose of that? So it will have capacity or capability of resolving the DNS. DNS resolution capacity is there. Okay. So after that, we will have website tier and database tier. In the website, all this on the Docker. So our website is basically PHP and Apache. Apache as the web server and website on the PHP code. So it's a simple website, but it will clearly give you idea of how actually the two-tier website works. And what is this? This is basically 8080 port on which your website will work. In actual scenarios, the website will work on 80 port. Okay, but we are just taking example here. So instead of this, we can change the port also. So I will show you that how this will happen. And we will have one directory, so which is actually what we can say the document where when we put our data or code, so it will be served to the external world. That is the purpose. Where HTML is basically the document, so which will get bind with our host. Why this we bind with the host? Because we want to deploy the code when it changes. Okay. So after that, there is one database tier. So we are using MySQL database 8.0, and the container name is here, so we can change that also. There is no issue. We will have one database volume, as well as we will see what is the init.script in the official MySQL image. Okay. And whenever the code changes, we have our code on the GitHub. So whenever the code changes, whenever the developer commit the code, our Jenkins will automatically detect whatever the changes, whatever the version available within the 1 minute of time using the Git poll SCM. You will see the new code will get deployed automatically. So it's entire automated pipeline we will see. So this is the overall architecture. So we will just jump to the actual practical implementation. So here you can see we have some codes available. Okay. What are they? I will explain one by one. So first of all, here is one Docker Compose file. So we have website and database. Okay. So first of all, here the service is defined. Means if you want to create a multiple container, you can define it under the service section. So first is a website and second is a MySQL test DB. Then, so first part is build dot. Why it is? So I'm just coming out from this compose file. Now let's see this Docker file inside the same directory. So we are using PHP 8.2-Apache official image. In this image, we want some extensions enabled for PHP. Okay. So Docker PHP extension we are installing. Extension name is MySQL. Okay. It is used for connecting your application to the remote database. Okay. And we are enabling read write module and copying the code into the document root, which is var www.st. This is basically the simple Docker file. We will again move into that Docker Compose. So once your image is built, then second part is your website name. I just kept the website as the website name. And the port means on the port 80, we will start our website. Means when you put our host IP, which is 192.168.1.9, you will get the application. Okay. Now, what is this volume? So basically, in the same directory, we have one folder or directory, which is website. Here we have some codes, basic codes. So we want to bind that. So into this file. So we are using bind mode, means we are binding this is the directory on our host, and we are binding the same into the directory in the container, which is the document, which is var www.stm. And this part network. Okay. What is this? So network part is basically at the end, if you go there, you can see we are defining one network. In the network section, if we want to create any network, we will define it. Okay. And the driver is bridge. So we are using the bridge network. So this part is used to create the bridge network. So this same network, when we create it, it will get utilized here. Okay. And it's depend on MySQL DB. So what is this? What is the meaning of it? Suppose if this is the MySQL DB database container, in this we are using this image. Once this container is ready, then only this container will get up, because it's depend on the database. So that's all. Now, second one is similarly image. So in first part, we builded the image from the scratch. Means it gives us idea how to build the image in the Compose file. Now, second one is we are directly pulling image from the Docker. Image is MySQL 8.2. So I will show you or tell you one more thing. Suppose if you are using MySQL version like 8 or before that 5, any version, it will not affect. Even if suppose we are using the latest version, there is no issue. Okay. Suppose, but if your PHP is developed on the version 7 and you are using PHP version 8, so it will create a problem. So your code might get correct. You need to take care of your PHP version. So you can use higher version of MySQL. That's are the observation that we find on our production. MySQL version may be vary, or you can use the variation in that. But in case of PHP, you need to have the proper PHP version. Now, after that, container name we are defining simple container name and restart always happens. Means in case if due to some issue our container get crashed, it will get up again. Okay. And these are the some environment variables that we are passing. So what is this? This is predefined while creating the image. Means when this official image MySQL is defined, at that time these variables are defined. Means if you change this variable internally, this database root password will get set. This database name will get set. This DB user will get set. This password will get set. This is the meaning. Now, what we are doing, we are again here we can see we have one volume. So if you want to create the volume, you can define this. If you define volume MySQL data, this volume will get created. Now we are mapping this volume on our host with a barely MySQL. What is inside this? This will generally have the configuration file required for our MySQL configuration, my.cl. If you want to change anything from the host, you can change in this case. So this is the purpose of finding this to the host. And second thing, if this is the configuration file, if you have it on your host, so in this case, even if your container get crashed or container get deleted, you can recover your data from this volume. After that, this is DB init script that we are having. So basically, this will create some users, or this will do some part in our MySQL database. So this is also defined in this official image at the entry point. Hence, when you put anything inside this directory, so it will have the effect, means it will run that commands on the database directory. So this is the purpose, and this is called init script. And this is the network. So observation is the network is same as we can see in our architecture. So we have webnet as the network for the both tier, website tier as well as database tier. Now, so this part is done as of now. So entire file is, I think, clear to you. So one more thing is remain here, which is DB init, and I define DB init, in which I will create simple one database named DB name. These are the simple queries of MySQL database. On the entry level, this will be in use. Okay, mostly creation of the database, creation of the user, assigning particular user role to work on particular database. These are the daily activity you need to do as an engineer, or else you have to do the migration also. But these are the basic. Here, simple database creation. I'm entering into that particular database, yes, and I'm creating one table, inserting the users. So this is one table, and inside that table we have some users. So this part is done via init, DB init script. So I will show you that in detail also. And here is a simple website for you. This is the index.php. Okay. So this will simply show you the users from the database. Means it will show that database is getting connected to your PHP website. And what are the credentials where we mentioned that? So in the config.php file, we have server name, means which is the host, database username, and database password, and database name. So all these are the different parameters that we define, or that we created via init DB script. Okay, this is the configuration file for the PHP application. So you have to enter the credential into the configuration file so that it will get connected with the your database server. After that, So one more thing is there. So we have what we can say, we have automation with the Jenkins. So in the previous workshop, we done with the automation part also. So in which we set up the Jenkins agent. This is simple Jenkins setup where we open the 50,000 port, map to the 50,000 on host, which will be used for the agent. And this is the official image I am utilizing from my Docker. And for that, this is the Jenkins dash data. Here also one volume is defined. So there was existing volume I created before. So I am utilizing the same for this Jenkins installation. There are some previously I done with this, so I will just down this containers. Simply you need to do so it will create website MySQL DB. Jenkins is previously set up in our previous workshop. Okay, so I will not repeat these things and Jenkins agent installation. I will show you what is inside the Jenkins. There you can see in the Jenkins we created the simple job, which is the website name. In the configure section, what we did, we use our GitHub repo in which we have our code. Okay, so here in the website folder, we have our code. For the scenario purpose, what I did, I created one developer area. In this area, in the websites, suppose if developer changes the version, you can see version change to 8. Okay, I'm just editing something. Version change means you are utilizing or you are introducing the new feature. So if you can see here, this file is get modified. So here the repository is initialized. For initializing repository, you have to do git init. Simple command. Okay, the repository always is already there. So I will make the commit. Okay, instead of this, I will commit the new version. Now it's clean. The code is get pushed to the GitHub. Let's check. So we just made the commit. Version 8 is there. We are on the main branch. But we have to. Here you can observe that there is the version 7. I will just push. We will refresh and check the new version is there or not. So we can see here the new version is updated. If we click on that, we can see the previous code has V7, this line. So minus means this line get removed and this line get added. So this is how the version is actually controlled on the Git. So instead of your version 7, now version 8 is there. . So currently our website is there and website have version 7. So just move to the Jenkins. So in the Jenkins, we mention our repo. So if there is any change, we want to detect that. So for that, we have policy. What it will do, at every minute, it will check if there is any changes on the GitHub in this repository. This repository and the main branch. You can see here, we are on the main branch. Main branch and the same repo. You can see here also. So this is set already. I'm just saving. So we will wait for that. It will detect the change within the 1 minute and it will pull the new code automatically to the website. So till that time, we will do some observation. Here we can see we run our website on port number 80. Database is on port 3306. And it is internally connecting due to directly we mentioned the MySQL DB as the host name. So it is internally connecting via the bridge network. So we are just checking the what is the facility that we have in the bridge network. Docker container inspect. We can see here the IP is from the 172.20.0.3 port. Again, we will do Docker PS and we will observe for the MySQL database. Inspect and the ID of the MySQL database. The parameter is this. I'm just scraping the same part. We can see both the website and MySQL database are from the same network. 172.20.0.3 is there and 2 is there. So one more observation you can see here. So both have same means IP from the same CID. So here you can see 16 is the prefix. Okay, so means 172.20 is fixed. The both cases 172.20 is fixed, and any IP in between is in place of 0. You will have any number. This is basically the container created from the same subnet or CID. Now, here one more observation you can see. So we also mentioned there depends on parameter. So when this container is created, after that this container is created. Okay, so simple observation is this will get assigned 0.2 IP, and this have IP 0.3. This is created, then this is created. This first database container is created, then this web app container is created. Means it should not get problem or error. So that is the depends on parameter. Okay, so I think the new build is get created automatically. Let me check. If any issue is there, we will troubleshoot it. Yes, no new code is not there. So we just push the version. Let's check what is happening. So we change the code. That is correct. We have code on the GitHub. The V8 version is there. In the version, and let's check the changes is there or not. Refresh. Okay, version 8 is updated. Let's check what is happen inside this. This should pull the your latest version. Let's check by doing it manually. We check if there is any error. No, no error is there. So build is scheduled successfully. Let's check the console. So basically it is pulling the code from this. So there is no issue. Check out new version. We put this commit message. V8 is the our commit message. And this is we are running just at the is when we pull the code, the configure section, we can see at the end, we add the execute shell step. What it is doing, it is simply copying the code from our workspace to the document book, which is binded on the our host. I will show you that also. So here is the that directory which is binded. So here we can see index.php now get updated with version 8. Okay. We can see this is the bind we used. Yes, whatever data will be there inside this will be inside this folder. Okay. Means when you update the data into this bind directory, which is here, it will get updated into the content. So it's currently version 7 and it's updated to the version 8. Okay. So we will see why it is not automatically pull new version. We will make change again one time. 639. 36 times, I think correct. We are again pushing the new version. We will wait for 1 to 2 minutes. Let's check if it is happening or not. I'm just updating the plugins. Some plugins are there on update. The CM state was there also in the update. This might create problems. Okay, so I will explain one more thing here. Here I mention one thing: restart unless stop. Hence, it will restart if by any other means, like if I do Docker container stop and Jenkins container, it will not start again. But this time it get restarted via the Jenkins UI. Okay, so that's why when it stop, it will get again up due to that restart policy. I will again log in into the console. Six 6:45. Let's check that it is in synchronize or not. It might happen due to that warning we are getting. But manually build is happening. 6:45. Time is correct. 6:45. Time is correct. The second method is GitHub hook trigger. So we can use this also. But as of now, we have our server, which is Jenkins, on our private environment. So that's why we need the public IP for that. If we have public IP, so we can use the GitHub hook trigger for Git SCM tool. So it will also work similarly, like means any new code is get updated into the GitHub, it will automatically deploy that code into the server. As per our architecture, we done with our host is already there. We understand the Docker network, which is the bridge network, as well as we understand how is our website and the configuration file. Instead of 8080, we use 80 port for the website hosting, which generally used in real scenarios. Now there are some file config.php which is used to connect to the database server, and MySQL database version 8.0. This is done. With this script, we created the database also. So I will show you one more insight here, which is your database. So here you can see the entry point script is there. And this is we created. So we can see that any file inside this will get executed inside the database. This is what this entry point defines. Here we can see. So this meaning of this is we can execute. Suppose we want to run any command or work on the database, we can put the script inside this directory, and which will get execute at the container startup. This is the process. So here also for the Jenkins, we have our Jenkins on the different network. Here are network we can see, and this is the Jenkins network because we did not define the Jenkins network at that time. So it will take the Jenkins default name. We are pulling the code from the GitHub and deploying to the host into the document root. This usually will not happen. We will try one more time. It is updated at 650. I think Jenkins need to update. We will wait for 2 to 3 minutes. We will continue with our next part. It's another issue. Now it start building. So we will again one more time push the code. Now we will check. So this is the developer area. Developer will make some changes. Adding to staging area, commit area. Into the GitHub. Yes, we can see here. After 1 minute, it detected the new version, and it started building the our job. So what job defines? Job simply taking the code, newer code from this GitHub repo. After that, what this defines? The code is inside the main branch, and here you can see every minute it will check. It will go to the GitHub. It will check is there any changes in the version. If there is any changes, it will pull the code. So what is the difference between this? Suppose trigger build remotely or periodically, build periodically. Okay. So in the build periodically, what it will do? It will build continuously. Like here you can see at every 1 minute it will have one build. But with this policy, what it will do? It will create the build only if there is a new version. Otherwise, it will not create. So it will check surely for 1 minute. The new version is now automatically get deployed. The testing detail. So that means we automated entire application workflow. So this is all about the today's workshop.